Hey, and welcome to the Friday afternoon coffee Facebook Live break with me, Amanda Webb. And this is really odd. I've got so much technology going on here. I hope you can see me clearly. Oh, I can see me over there. I can't see me here. It's all very odd. And that's the danger of being a one-person business. Now I can see lots of photos of me everywhere. It's really bizarre. I'm trying OBS Studio again. I didn't really need it this week, but I thought, sure, why not give it a go? So I've lots of technical things I need to do. For example, I want to get rid of my window capture. Yes, goodbye window capture. And that hopefully means that I'll be able to transition between my display, which is now showing me I do not want that, go away, and some other stuff. So let's see how it goes. As usual, I'd love to know where in the world you are. I should be able to see your comments coming in on my live stream here. I'm just wondering if I do that, can I mute it? Oh, there's me talking to myself. Hey Kate, hey Mandy. Thank you. I can see your comments and I'm just going to get rid of that because that's making noise and I don't know how to make it stop. Maybe we'll try that again. My live stream here. I'm just wondering if I do that. And thanks for the shamrock, Kate. So I know both Mandy and Kate are in Ireland, so thanks for watching. Right, so here's my topic board, which should be able to fit in screen today. So the topics we are going to discuss are the selfie, and I need your help on this one because I'm doing a blog post on selfies. It's selfie day next week, Tuesday of next week. So if you've never taken a selfie before, here's the opportunity. And second topic, and I wanted to discuss this last week, but as you may remember, I was at an event, so I couldn't talk about it. But Facebook have kinda got rid of the 20% text rule on their images. I'm going to talk about that in some detail. Number 3, Facebook groups. Strangely, that noise was my sign about Facebook groups dropping down. Facebook groups have become maybe the new Facebook pages. Maybe people aren't looking at Facebook pages anymore. I have a group. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about some of the things that you might do for a better group. And I'd love your advice on that one as well. I know Kate, who's watching, has a Facebook group. I know Mandy because we're in a Facebook group together. So it would be good to talk about. Pop-ups. If you've ever been on an email marketing course of mine, you will know that I told you that if I ever added a pop-up to my website, that you could berate me. So I'll be waiting to be berated. We'll talk about that. And number 4 is 360-degree photo that I'd totally forgotten about. Facebook have just introduced this. My office is kind of a mess, but I'm still thinking I might do a 360-degree photo because now you can put them on Facebook and people can navigate around your 360 photo, and anyone can do this if you've got an app. It's pretty cool. So that's my topics. Hopefully this one won't fall down, and I'll just grab up the bit that did fall down because I'd love you to see how many screens I've got around here. Right, so topic number 1 was the selfie. This is me doing a selfie. But seriously, selfies are they're not just a huge part of our culture now, but for people like me who work on my own, I don't have someone to take photos of me. I need to be able to take photos of myself. And since I've started using Snapchat, up until that point, I think I thought that selfies were kind of narcissistic. I think I thought people who took selfies were obsessed with the way they looked. But I've changed my mind because the human face is so expressive. It really can put across any emotion that you want it to, more so than a smiley face or an emoji. Our face can make lots of strange emotions come across. And actually, I freak out about this sometimes. You know, can people see when I'm nervous or I'm uncomfortable by the expression of my face? Using Snapchat, I've been using Snapchat a lot, those of you that follow me, to kind of tell people how I feel by an expression on my face. And I found this a really interesting thing. Hey Kate, Kim Kardashian has a whole book she sells of her selfies. Let's keep Kim out of this, okay? We all know I'm hotter than Kim. You all know what I've got going on is better. So I find that the faces I can pull, if that's a term, on Snapchat are so much more emotive than anything I could write in text. Or even the way I'm talking on this video, I can get it across a lot quicker if I just pull a face. And the more I've been using Snapchat, the more comfortable I've become with the way I look. I used to always be worried about taking a perfect photograph. You're great on Snapchat, thanks Mandy. Yeah, I have a lot of expressions on my face. So the more I use Snapchat, the more comfortable I become. I used to care more about how I look. If you ever see a photo of me taken at a wedding or a family portrait, I'm doing this. I've got wide shoulders, so I pull my shoulders down and to my side, and then I stick my chin out. See, don't I look nice? But the selfies I take on Snapchat don't look like that. I'm not worried about taking pictures of my chin. And all in all, this has made me more comfortable about the way I look. So far from being narcissistic, far from being in love with the way I look, obsessed with the way I look, I've just become comfortable with it. And I think they're really important from that point of view. I also think that because we start wanting to get to know the people we're doing business with, selfies are a great way of doing that. I promise this is the last time I'll mention the Content Mastery Summit, but Mark Schaefer showed us an example of a real estate agent who was using photos that she found, not just boring photos of the houses she was selling, but photos of her doing specific things. I think it was those selfies that would make me want to do business with her. So that's selfies. I'd love to know what you think because I'm planning a blog post. It'll be out on Tuesday. There'll be a video to accompany it. I might try a few selfie tricks myself. I think I've got my first duck face selfie that I ever tried somewhere on this computer, so I'll be able to share it with you. So if you've got any ideas, leave me a comment below. On to topic number 2. Okay, I get overly excited, as you know, by this stuff, but goodbye 20%. And that refers to a Facebook advertising thing. So up until a few weeks ago, everyone was restricted by a rule when you ran a Facebook ad that ensured that you had 20%, that ensured if you have more than 20% text on your ads, that they get rejected by Facebook. And more people were getting affected by this rule. And the annoying thing was, it wasn't really 20%, it was actually far more. So you had to actually fit your text within this specific grid that they gave you. And if it filled in more than, I think it was 4 blocks on that grid, or maybe it was 5, that meant it wouldn't pass the rule. It was kind of annoying. It was a lot of work for people like me that run ads. And they've since done away with this. And that's kind of, it's good and it's bad. So it's good because people's ads aren't going to get rejected anymore. I don't need to spend all that time trying to resize images. It's bad because text doesn't really look good on images. I've seen an awful lot of really lazy imagery on Facebook, particularly recently. People putting up quotes and they haven't even bothered putting a photo behind. It's just plain text. Why wouldn't you just type it in as text? I don't understand. And I think it does look ugly. It does look like that brash kind of advertising. Facebook know this. So they haven't just changed the rule. What they've done is it means it'll cost you more to show ads to people that have a lot of text on. So here's my magic jiggery pokery again. Hopefully I don't make this camera jiggle around too much when I do it. That's kind of one of the side effects. Let's see if I can make this work. Okay, transition. Ooh, you should all be able to see very shortly a post from John Loomer. And this he brought out when this was initially rumoured. So they have been testing it for a while. So what they're doing is the amount of text that you have on your ad will depend on how many people they show it to. So it will cost a lot more to reach people if you have a lot of text. And they're going to classify that in different sections. It tells you you'll get reach though, doesn't it? What does the Facebook ad post, Kate? Can you just clarify that for me? I know it's kind of hard to type on a phone. So here you should be able to see on John Loomer, the preferred text is that you have very little text or maybe just your logo or something really, really small. So they're ideal for Facebook. If I scroll down, this is what it calls low text. So it will reach fewer people because there's a lot of text on it, but it won't be catastrophic because it's still going to show it to some people. Then we go down again. This is low text, so you can see these are some examples of the low text. So there is quite a bit of text on those. In the old days, you'd never get this approved, not unless they made a mistake. Then we look at medium-sized text. Now you can see more and more of the images filling up with text. And here's some examples. Again, this sort of thing would really turn me off if I see it in a Facebook ad. I don't know about you, if you feel the same way. Scroll down again. Now this is obviously way too much text. Now, some people, I'm just going to switch back to me again. This is fun. Yay, I'm back. Some people will still not be able to run ads that are more than 20% text because they seem to have not fully rolled this out. So some people are going to be able to run ads, others aren't. Thanks, Kate, for that. Yes, I got a message to say, yes, okay. Because I don't run ads with much text on, I've not been had one of those messages. But Kate here is saying that when she tried to run an ad with more than 20% text, they sent her a message to say they're going to get less reach. And that's kind of cool, isn't it? I think it's kind of cool. They're letting us know in advance what we can expect from our ads. Now, the really good news for advertisers like you and me is that if we don't put text on our ads or only just the logo on our ads, we're going to be able to beat our competitors out of the water with our Facebook ads. We're going to get a better price per click, per everything. So if you do advertise on Facebook, get rid of your text altogether and you should see better results by far. Okay, on to topic number 3. It's all very Facebook-y today. I've just looked. Almost all Facebook-y. Have to rectify next week. Facebook groups. I've recently started a Facebook group. I was meant to tell you about it last time, but I was so overwhelmed with this OBS technology that I totally forgot. So here is the link. bit.ly.com/smallbizbloggers. So if you blog for business, or if you're more interested in that side of blogging, or if you're planning to, you don't have to be a blogger already. It would be great if you can join that group. We've already had some great conversations and we're picking up a few members now, so it should be good. Here's the link again. Whoa, let's see if I can get no light hitting it. It's really hard to do this because it flipped. Right, bit.ly.com/smallbizbloggers. Come and join me there. It's great fun. But the thing is, I noticed since I started that group, the stuff that I'm doing in that group now is the stuff that I used to do on my Facebook page. And Facebook groups have really been the place where we've started to interact. In fact, I interact on Facebook groups far more than I interact with my friends anymore on Facebook. Almost everything I do is part of a group, and some of those are kind of interest groups. Some of them are business related groups, some of them are blogger groups, but that's where I'm doing most of my interactions, not necessarily with my friends. And I rarely see a post from a page now. So there's a lot of people reporting that in the last month or so they've seen a big drop in their organic reach in Facebook. Now, I have to say I haven't. I seem to be doing okay with my organic reach. It's been pretty steady since around October last year. But lots of people are reporting that a drop in that. And I'm wondering, is that because it's not just me that is spending a lot of time in group? It's not just me that's interacting with groups. There's a whole bundle of us, and we're all telling Facebook, this is what I want to do, this is what I enjoy, these are the places I go to interact. Because I have noticed that it's much harder to get a comment on a Facebook business post. It's much harder to get anything to happen on your Facebook business post. And that's not just reach, that's got to do with it being a public forum. So do let me know, do you use Facebook groups more? Would you decide to set one up for your business? If you do decide to set one up for your business, it's a good idea to have a plan. Have some rules in place right from the beginning. My top rule was be nice. but have them there so that you're ready to deal with anything. If your community suddenly gets really large, you want to have some rules there so you know when you can stop conversations, take people out of the group. And that of course will evolve over time as your membership does. And the other thing would be to have some set posts that you have every week. So in my small business bloggers group, we have on a Monday, I welcome new members and they introduce themselves, which is great. It's great to meet new people. On a Wednesday, we have a share your blog post, or if it's not your blog post, something you've created online this week post. And I really love that because I'm finding so much great content through it. On a Friday, we have a promote yourself, because we're all businesses there. We need to be able to tell people what we want. So it's your chance to request people to like your page. So if you're thinking of having a group, think about the sorts of posts that you could put out there on a weekly basis to try and get that interaction up. Don't let it just be a free-for-all, have some structure on it. So I'd love to hear about the groups you're in and if any of them are any good. And this is how I'm feeling about Facebook groups currently. I love them. On to my next topic. This is really weird with all these screens around. It does take getting used to. It's just as well I'm getting used to those selfies, eh? Pop-ups. A couple of years ago, I asked Facebook what they thought about pop-up windows. So these are the windows that pop up to try and get people to subscribe to your stuff. So subscribe to your email newsletter. And I've always hated them. Hi, Mandy. I used to be members of actual web-based forums. Me too. But I think Facebook groups have replaced these for me. It's within Facebook, which is always open, and the interaction is great. You're 100% right. I used to be on internet forums too. Some people, I've still good friends that I met through those forums. It's really bizarre. But yes, they died off pretty much when Facebook took off, and it's taken this long to replace them, really. And I am enjoying them. I enjoy that interaction, that I don't have to be friends with someone. I can just enjoy meeting new people within those groups. So you're 100% right, bang on. Pop-up windows. I'm trying to avoid the topic because, yes, they're very, very annoying. A couple of years ago, I asked on my Facebook page, what do you think of pop-up windows? And I've got this screen cap I took at the time of about 50 people saying they were annoying. Not one person said they were good. If you listen to my podcast, you know I've been kind of persuaded over time that it might be worth trying them because apparently they work. My first experiment, and I've talked about this before, was a tool called Lead-In that had kind of a slidey up window. It wasn't a pop-up, it just slid up at the side of the page after you've been reading for a little while. And that was fantastic. I was getting about 1 sign up a day with Lead-In. It's owned by HubSpot. It's a fantastic tool. Even if you don't use their pop-up, it will record information about who visits your website and when they visit your website. So that was Lead-In. The problem with Lead-In is it didn't have double opt-in. So those people would go straight into my MailChimp as subscribers. I couldn't say to them, you know, you have to verify that you want to subscribe, and that's a bit dodgy. What if somebody puts somebody's email in that doesn't really want to join, or a fake email? So I was looking out for another option. Katrina Redmond, who runs Wholesome Ireland, I think I've mentioned her before, she had a lovely one on her site run by a company called Mail Munch, and that was also a slide up. So I tried that slide up for a while and I got no conversions. So I started looking out for another option. And I thought, look, let's give it a go. Let's try the pop-up window a go. So I have now a pop-up window. It doesn't pop up until you go to leave the site. And I think that's kind of cool because it's not going to interrupt your experience, your user experience. And that's what I was always worried about. And I'm using a tool. I knew I was going to totally forget what it was called as soon as I started. So hang on, I'm just going to go. Rapidology. And Rapidology is owned by a company called Lead Pages, who do landing pages for websites. And this is kind of their gateway drug into their main product. And it is kind of cool because you can set up different versions of your pop-up window. So I'm currently split testing two. When I went into my incognito window to show this to you, this is the one that arrives. I've got one with a big image and one with no image. So you ready to see the hideousness that is my pop-up window? There it is. Now that's obviously the one without the image, and what it's doing is it's split testing this for me. So half the visitors that come, it will show this one too. Half the visitors that come, it will show the other one too. It's absolutely free. It's a plugin for WordPress, Rapidology. I will leave a link below. And it doesn't just have pop-up windows, it has all sorts of nice ones. It integrates straight into MailChimp, which is really handy for me. And like I said, it'll only appear when it thinks you're about to leave the site. So when you move your cursor up to the top right or the top left, as if you're about to leave, it'll pop up then. So it's only getting people once they've finished reading your content. I think that's important. So far, 0 conversions, but I'm going to give it a go because I have a better hook. I have a better hook. I think they call them lead magnets, but I hate that term. I have a better hook coming up for this. And hopefully that will mean that I convert more people. So it's going to be interesting to watch. And hopefully you agree it's not too intrusive. Okay, you do, right? I just pulled a funny face there. You didn't see it because I forgot to transition back to me. Okay. Technology is going so much better this time. I'm really loving this. I have to thank, actually talking of Facebook groups, there's one called the Live Video Mastermind run by Joel.com, who I always want to call Joel.com. And after my first OBS, I went in there looking for help about how I could be more efficient with comments and stuff. So a lot of the stuff I've got as set today is thanks to that group. Do go check it out, Live Video Mastermind. Right, so tell me if you still hate pop-ups. One of the people actually, because I use that screen cap to this day when I'm teaching email marketing, one of the people who was most vehement about not having a pop-up window on their site now has a pop-up window on their site. That's how powerful they are. Okay, there's not much to say about this one. 360-degree photo. All I want to say is watch my Facebook page. Once I finish this, I'm going to get myself an app. I'm going to take a 360-degree photo and I'm going to upload it so you can see what's going on. My office is a little bit messy. I've hidden stuff. So hopefully you won't see that. I think this could be massive. Probably not for people who work in offices, but for events. When you go to an event, you could take a 360 photo there. If you're in a tourism business, taking a 360 photo of wherever it is that you work, or the countryside, or if you're in a building, it'll be huge and people can just scroll around with their fingers and have a look at it. There's one, I think, from one of the pyramids in Egypt doing the rounds, and it is amazing. It is just a corridor, so you can't see much, but it shows the potential of what you can do. If you're in a restaurant, you could take a 360 degree of that. That sounds really boring, doesn't it? If you were at a sporting event, imagine taking a 360 of the nice size. Are you talking about my whiteboard, Kate? Or my 360 degrees? So it is going to be huge, I think. And if you're a business, I would be going and doing this now because we know that Facebook will always give you extra reach if you try one of their new cool tools. So go try a 360 photo, have a look at my Facebook page, see what I come up with. And finally, one last time, don't forget to join if you're interested in blogging for your business. You don't have to be blogging already if you're just thinking about it or think it's something you might do. bit.ly/small business bloggers. Next week I shall be somewhere else, so if I do my live broadcast I'll let you know in advance, but it will definitely back to from my phone. So let me know what you think of this lovely OBS Studio broadcast. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do tell me what you think about selfies too, because I'd love to include some of you. Mandy, you should have some great advice on selfies, I'd say. I'd love to include some of you in my my blog post. And just I've got a comment there from Mandy. I was on your site earlier, noticed the pop-up. I'd forgotten you'd mentioned it on Snapchat just as leaving, of course, but it didn't bug me. You hate when they pop up in the middle of browsing. Also love the foodie pic you use. It appeals to me. Yeah, because it's called the social snacks. That's what my newsletter's called. The foodie picture on the other version of the pop-up window, that was a friend of mine baked those cakes and I happened to be there. I was going, oh, this is amazing. I took a photo, and then of course when I was looking for a photo for my social snacks, it was just the perfect one to go. Okay, that's all from me this week. Thanks so much for joining in, particularly Mandy and Kate for commenting. But if you are watching, give me a like. If you're watching afterwards, give me a like. Tell me where you are in the world. It's always so exciting to see you. The pop-up's a nice size. Yes, it is. The smaller one, I think, without the image is a better size. But the image obviously is more compelling. Once I get my lead magnet together, we'll see what I come up with there. All right, so see you all. I have to work out how I switch this thing off now. How do I switch it off? End live video. I'll see you all next Friday at 4 p.m. where I'll be broadcasting, hopefully, maybe, probably, depending on internet access, from Belfast. See you then.